Hey there, friends. What's up? Kevin here from the MSOTD Rocks YouTube channel. And instead of doing an album review, which we've pretty much done the past month and a half, and with the coronavirus vaccine being rolled out, and it looks like live shows are going to have the green light to go on at some point in 2021, maybe late summer, early fall, I'm going to be taking a look at the 10 bands that I am most excited to see once the pandemic releases. Before we get started though, please follow MSOTD Rocks on places like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On all those platforms, you'll get the 30-second Song of the Day feature. It is a way for you to get in the know with a lot of the new artists coming up, a lot of the emerging artists, along with a lot of the heavy hitters as well to really expand your musical horizons. We also post anytime anything gets announced on all three of those platforms as well. We also ask you many different questions. We connect with you on those platforms. Comment, message us, we'll respond. And on Instagram, every single Tuesday night, we have our IGTV video series. It's behind the scenes look at what's going on here at MSOTD Rocks, or just, lately it's kind of been coming up just, us rambling on, having some good times. And every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central, we go live on Instagram. And for about an hour, we hang out, have a good time, and whatever happens, happens. Please also subscribe to this YouTube channel because not only do we get these top 10 countdown lists, we also get the album reviews, the Kevin Figures Out series where I try and figure out if I like certain bands in the scene that I am not that well versed in, different videos about the emerging bands in the scene today, and of course the year-end awards after every single year. So you can see what we thought of 2020, 2019, 2018. And this is also where the Chord Progression podcast lives. It is our very own podcast. We're reviewing a lot of the emerging bands in the scene today that are upcoming, some of the heavy hitters as well, but really a lot of the bands that you're going to want to know and that will become the biggest bands by the end of the decade. We've done bands like Rock, Thrill the Fight, Kill the Lights, Saul, GFN, Kingdom Collapse, Another Day Dawns, and Strangers Angels. You even have Stepson coming up as well, which is incredible. That was an amazing one. So you can watch all those interviews right here on YouTube, or you can subscribe to the Chord Progression podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and iHeart Radio. Links are below for everything, so like, share, subscribe, tell your crazy neighbor down the street going, hey, how's it going? Let's go. So why am I doing this video? The reason I'm doing this video is because since the pandemic hit, and I've talked about this a lot on the podcast when it comes to live shows, for me, like many other people, live music is a home away from home for us. Heck, if I go to the rave here in Milwaukee, it feels like I'm at home once again. And the biggest reason behind that is because when we go to live music, when we go see live shows, the biggest thing is it's just this religious and more spiritual experience at the exact same time as well, because we're in this crowd with so many different people. We're all enjoying the music in this positive way that we connect with emotionally in many different avenues. We're all there to enjoy, we're all there to forget the crap that's going on in the world. The stress immediately goes away. And for a couple hours, nothing else matters except what's in front of us and our pure enjoyment of the music. Plus for me, I get into a mosh pit and the adrenaline just goes absolutely flying. When it comes to this video though, the one rule I'm making is if I've seen the band 2 or more times, I am not including them on this list. A number of reasons. One, if I've not seen the band, I'm going to want to see them. If I have seen them before and I really want to see them again, that just shows that I really like the band. I want to see what happens when I go see them a second time, so I'm going to put them on this list. If I've seen them 2 or more times already, that just means that I've already seen them twice. I want to go see them again all the time. This isn't going to change, so I'm not including them on this list. Plus, if I did, you guys know number 1 would be Rise Against, and I've seen them 9 times already. They're still probably my number 1, but I want to add a little more diversity to this list. So the bands that will not be included on this list are bands like Rise Against, Hollywood Undead, Disturbed, Skillet, Breaking Benjamin, Motionless in White, and 30 Seconds to Mars. So let's jump into it. So coming at number 10 is every single band I've had on the Chord Progression podcast. Why am I putting them in a group at number 10? Couple of reasons. One is because, well, this is the first pick. And for the video, if you're watching this, first thing you're gonna see, all these great bands are coming up in the scene today, so go check them out. Second is because I enjoyed having the podcast. I want to support them as much as possible, and I like their music, so I want to go check them out. I have a great relationship with a lot of these bands. I want to go see them play live. I've enjoyed a lot of their music, so I want to show them some support. Some bands include, Kingdom Collapse, GFM, Thrill the Fight, Kill the Lights, Awake at Last, Saul, Wildway, From Ashes to New, Modern Day Escape, Avoid. Let's just keep going through some of the lists. Dream Shade is on there. Stepson will be on there as well. I mean, the list keeps going and going. Rosie, throw them in there as well. I love those girls. GFM. Let's just keep thinking. I said Wild Ways already. Yeah, I did. I really like Wild Ways. And even some of the bands overseas like Pentastone, Stain the Canvas, Nowhere to Be Found, E-Line, Waves in Autumn, let's see, Mountain Eye. There's so many great bands that have been on the podcast I want to check out, and I want to, also pay up on the debt of First Rounds on Me. So I'm lumping them all in a 10 right here as well, so you guys go check them out. So let's just jump to number 9.
And so it went. The children lost their minds.
At number 9, I have The Pretty Reckless. Why are The Pretty Reckless at 9, especially after listening to their Death by Rock and Roll album, where I liked it, I didn't absolutely love it. I really like the first half, it more than the second half. And I think the biggest reason why I'm going to see them live is because of frontwoman Taylor Momsen. And the biggest reason is because she really fully embodies that sex, drugs, and rock and roll style that rock stars have had from the dawn of time. And you really look at rock stars today, no one really has that anymore. She has this classic builder's classic raw energy of, again, that sex, drugs, rock and roll style. And I could really get behind that as well. Would this be a pit-inducing show for me to go absolutely crazy like I'm used to? Probably not. But this would be a show that I would be just really entranced and just watching what's going on stage, feeling that real powerful raw rock energy of a lot of bands that have come before, a lot of those great bands from the 70s and 80s, and just really seeing that live. I've seen Alter Bridge before, I've seen Seven Dust before. I feel like this would be kind of that exact same style, and I could still really get into it. That last real classic sex, drugs, rock and roll persona that Taylor Momsen has, I want to see that live. So coming number 8, I have the Foo Fighters. Why do I want to see the Foo Fighters live? 2 major reasons. One is because I really liked the band ever since I got into rock and metal as well, really kind of jumping into it when I heard Monkey Wrench for the first time on Guitar Hero 2 and the No Way Out song from the Mando 6 soundtrack. I listened to that a lot and I'm like, okay, I'm really getting this. I just had this classic, very upfront rock sound, and it's very much continued on throughout the years. Did I really like their last album with Medicine at Midnight? Yeah, it was okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I didn't really fully dislike it either. But watching some of their shows online, seeing some of the clips, it's just, again, that pure rock energy that the band induces. Plus, they know you're going to want to see a show. They're going to put on a great show. Even when Dave broke his ankle 10 minutes in, he played the next 2.5 hours while sitting down. They make sure that you get your money's worth, and I want to see them live. Coming number 7, I have the Chicago pop punk band Belmont. Now, why do I have Belmont on this one? 2 reasons. One, I really like the music that has come out of Chicago in the past. Rise Against my favorite band. I absolutely love Chevelle. I like their new album. I've seen them live before. Disturbed, originally from Chicago. I've seen them twice. So a lot of stuff that comes out of Chicago I really resonate well with. Plus, I'm only 90 miles away up here in Milwaukee. And when I checked out Belmont as well, I love the pop punk energy and vibe they give up. They really have this more community feel that they really kind of stick with this regional sound, and it really does stand out well. I want to go to one of those live shows. I want to be in something that they're going to induce the pit because I feel like they can easily do that. Kind of like that ska punk feel, but not really sounding like that more pop punk sound. But again, just this overall just chaos that could be the crowd. I feel like they have this very feverish following, and that's something I could really dive deep into seeing them live. So that's where they're at 7. Coming number 6, I have A Day to Remember. Now, you guys know I was not that big of a fan of You're Welcome. I did get to see A Day to Remember right before the initial release date of You're Welcome in November of 2019. I saw them in October of 2019 on the Degenerates tour. And watching that show, I couldn't even get towards the pit because, again, I had some friends that was there. I was kind of staying there. Plus, I was being jostled around the whole entire show. But the absolute energy of the show was insane. Seeing how A Day to Remember interacted with the crowd, seeing the crowd surfer moment, which I really wanted to do. Hopefully next time I have someone that can hold my stuff while I do that. And just overall, the sheer fun that show enlists. Plus, out of all the bands that are on here, this might be one of the bands that have the biggest overall concert draw. When I saw them live for the first time, that had 8,400 people. Just that sheer crowd size and that sheer energy is something I really want to see live once again. Will they play more of the You're Welcome stuff once concerts return? Yeah, absolutely they will. Will they still go back stuff like For Those Who Have Heart, Homesick, Common Courtesy, What Separates Me From You? Of course they're going to, and I love it. Come number 5, I have Mr. Caleb Shomo and Beartooth. Why are they at number 5? I have seen them before, again, on the Degenerates tour. They opened on that tour for I Prevail and for A Day to Remember. And the biggest reason I want to see him is the sheer energy that their show provides and creates. Caleb Shomo up on stage is an absolute insane monster. It is so much fun to watch. I can't get enough of it. Plus, just how that pit would be, especially if I saw him in more of a closer setting, like a club show that holds maybe like 1,000, 2,000 people, like a ballroom thing, kind of like the rave here in Milwaukee. That would be absolutely perfect. Plus, for a longer set, I would absolutely be a part of that because I want to get into that mosh pit. I want to go bounce around left and right at their show. It would be just absolutely bonkers incredible. I've seen him once before, and I want to see him again. Coming number 4, I'm going to have My Chemical Romance. Why do I want to see My Chem live? And I think the biggest reason is because, and it's not going to be what you think. A lot of people think, you grew up on MCR, you had that. I really was going through that time when they were coming up. Like, I was in middle school when Welcome to Black Parade came out, so it does make sense. However, I was not really into MCR at that point. Why I want to go see them live is for 2 reasons. One, how big of a cultural thing this is, especially for people in my generation. We grew up with MCR. I really wasn't listening at the time, but I grew up during that time as well. Seeing how much people get into that as well is really incredible. Plus, just the sheer energy that the crowd is going to have and the sheer enjoyment that this performance is going to bring. Why wouldn't I want to go see that live? That just sounds incredible. Plus, you never know. They could end up being like a Rage Against the Machine and then coming back and then going away for a while, a long time, and you never know if they're going to come back. Get on them now while you can. Coming in number 3, I have Falling in Reverse. I did get to see Falling in Reverse right before the pandemic shut down everything in 2020, and I could be thinking, maybe I want to really see them again because that was my last big show of the year before the pandemic hit. So why do I want to go see them again? 2 big reasons. One is just the overall diversity in songs that Falling in Reverse has had. Over the past 11 years, Ronnie Radke has created such a large discography of what he is capable of doing, from The Drug in Me Is You, to Fashionably Late, to Coming Home, also with, Sexy Drug or Just Like You? Man, I'm really getting beat up on that one probably in the comments right now. But the trilogy singles, Popular Monster is one of my favorite songs of all time, and the reimagined and revamped stuff, there is so much that you can pick from to create this full up and down show. Heck, when I saw them, they did The Drug in Me Is You in reverse, and then end the show with Popular Monster, Drugs, and Just Like You, and it was just this crazy ebb and flow show. I absolutely loved it, and I want to see it again. Plus, Ronnie Radke just has this overall, just again, that rock star persona, not the sex, drugs, and rock and roll style, but just this overall, just, what's the best way to put it? Like, just incredibly out there frontman that is the personality behind the music, and I want to see that live again because he's so much fun to watch live. Even when I saw them back in February 2020, he was sick at the show, and he still sounded great. Imagine what this guy's going to sound like when he's not sick. Coming number 2, I have probably my second favorite band of all time. The poster's right up there with Evil Mickey. It is Ice Nine Kills. Why do I want to see them again? And the best way to describe it is, when I saw them back in November of 2019, their show blew me away basically because no matter where you were at the time of the show, whether you were in the pit, off to the side of the pit, or just in the crowd watching the show, you're going to have a great time. If you were in the pit, Ice Nine Kills has these incredible songs that are fast-paced, driven, and hard-hitting that are perfect for you to really get into the pit. Songs like Stabbing in the Dark, Me, Myself, and I, and Community the Curse are perfect for something like this. Then you get to other songs where if you're just on the outside of the pit, you're really feeling that energy of the whole entire style of the songs, of the way the pit is going, the way the crowd is going, and you'll also just watch the show at the same time, and so you're really getting the full feel of it with songs like The American Nightmare, Nature of the Beast. Those songs are fantastic. Then you also get great songs to where if you're staying off on the side of the crowd and you're just watching the performance up on stage, you're seeing all the intricacies with the horror movie tie-ins that Ice Nine Kills does. It's a great show to watch as well. Songs like A Grave Mistake, Let's see what other songs would really fit in there. Thank God It's Friday. They fit perfectly. Your numbers up as well fit perfectly into this. And is there a song that really wraps this all up? When they end with "It Is the End," it is the perfect way to end it. It is incredible. I want to see Ice Nine Kills as many times as possible, but why do I have them at number 2 and not number 1 if they're one of my favorite bands? Well, I've seen them one time before. I want that number 1 slot to go to a band that I've never seen before. And the number 1 band I want to see live when the pandemic is over is Baby Metal. Yes, I said it, Baby Metal. Why am I saying Baby Metal? Well, when I did the Coletator Kevin Figures Out video on them, which was the first one I did of that series, one of the things that really enthralled me was watching how some of the music videos, like the one with Gimme Chocolate, like Papaya, the live video for Road to Resistance, the live videos of them from concerts, just really seeing what the crowd was like, what the show was like. That was one of the things that really drew me in the first place. So there were 2 major reasons why I wanted to go see them live. One is just the overall energy of the shows. You listen to music with the J-pop influence on metal, that's going to create a lot of more high-paced, high-pitched, high-energy vibes that the band's really going to listen, but also when you get to the crowd is going to be fever pitch. They're very passionate about Baby Metal for all those big Baby Metal fans. So when you see the pit, people are going left and right, bouncing off each other. I see that pit, and the first thing I want to do is jump into it. Check out the live video for Road to Resistance. That is the best way to describe it, especially when, you know, you get that soft part in the beginning, all of a sudden you get the and you get that like Dragon Force inspired stuff, because of course Herman Lee, and you see the Wall of Death just come in. I want to be a part of that. The other reason I want to watch this too is because, again, watching what the girls do up on stage, the choreography from their performance is something that is very driven off of that J-pop style, but also, again, very rapid, very energetic, very high intensity. And I've seen bands go with that full choreographed style like in this moment, but it doesn't necessarily work for me because they're more melodic, they're more elegant with their moves within this moment, and I want that high energy kind of style. Baby Metal, watching on stage, again, it's going to elicit that exact same response from the crowd. The energy level is going to keep rising and rising and rising to the point where, hell, if I'm in the mosh pit and I end up breaking my nose, like I almost ended up falling in reverse, I'm still going to be happy as all hell. Along with a lot of these other bands, I'd be happy as all hell too. If my nose got broken in the pit, I wouldn't care. But in the end, for some reason, I wanted to see the cultural experience from the J-pop metal group, Baby Metal, Kawaii Metal, just, oh my god. I don't know what it is. I just want to see that live and just experience the craziness that is that crowd. That is the biggest reason why I put them at number 1. So that's going to be for me today, guys. I want to know what you think of the list, so put your comments in the description below and let me know what concerts you're looking the most forward to seeing once the pandemic ends. Of course, with the rule of, if you've seen them 2 or more times, don't include them on the list. So that's it for me today, guys. This is Kevin from the MSOD Rocks YouTube channel, and this is the hat flip. Nope, so see ya.